Welcome to the Yoked podcast. I'm your host, Travis Hall, alongside my wife and co-host, Ingrid.
On this podcast, we talk about all things real estate, entrepreneurship, business, faith, family, you name it, we talk about it, and how we do it all as an equally yoked husband and wife team.
We are glad you're here. Thanks for listening. Enjoy this week's episode. What's up, and welcome to the first podcast of 2026, Yoke podcast number 46.
Perfect.
We're excited for this year. It's going to be a great year.
Yes, it is.
I mean, we're like this every January, but it is exciting.
It is.
Here we are.
This one feels much more exciting than the last two Januaries. Yeah.
Yeah, that's because last year was so hard.
Yeah.
And so we're excited
Exactly.
for 2026. We have a fun episode planned. It came from, this idea, we're reading the book, Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. You and I both are halfway through.
Yes.
And it's interesting, like going back and reading it after we've done this podcast,
Mm-hmm.
because there's so much in this book that we implemented in the last couple of years,
Yep.
but especially last year and launching Yoked. It talks about Yoked a lot,
It does.
more from a biblical reference, but it is interesting. It talks a lot about it and where we are now. I mean, like obviously consciously, but we didn't read this book last year.
No.
Or in a couple of years. And so it was interesting, like there's so many things that we did in that book
Yeah.
to get us here.
Yeah. I would agree.
So at least for us, that was the initial conversation of like, let's have a re-up on Yoke
Yep.
and what Yoked is and kind of just resetting the vision
Yeah.
of Yoked.
Yeah. And so thank you to our very faithful longtime listeners.
Absolutely.
And if you're new here,
you know who you are.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're new here, like welcome. We are Yoked podcast is about alignment. It's about partnerships,
Mhm.
specifically in your faith, your work, calling, money, business, partnerships, marriage,
Every area of your life.
really everything, because
We kind of like
you need
narrow
help.
down, and we have them in this episode.
Yeah.
We narrow down in different like pillars.
Mhm.
But it's an alignment.
Alignment.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not about getting swole at the gym.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yoked.
Yoked.
What's funny is the captions oftentimes think that I'm saying yoked. And so I have to edit. A lot of times I'm like, no, there's no L. It's
I'm
just,
also like, it's not an egg yolk,
it's not an egg yolk.
although
Yeah.
I do like eggs. A yoke, let's talk about that, is a
Yeah,
work tool,
What is a yoke?
technically.
It
Like
is a work tool. Give us the actual definition. You wrote it down.
Okay, I did. So practical definition, a yoke is a work tool. It's designed to distribute weight, make heavy loads manageable, allow two to move in the same direction at the same pace.
So when people think about a yoke, what initially do you think of?
An
An
ox.
ox.
Yes. And
Right.
I wrote that down too because I thought this was a fun history fact.
Yeah, it is. It's
The
good.
earliest ox yokes date back to 4,000 to 3,000 BC in ancient Mesopotamia and Egypt, and they were designed specifically for oxen because they're strong, steady, but they work best when paired intentionally. And I like that. And that's kind of what we based a lot of this off of, which is you could be yoked to something that totally drives you off course.
Correct. You can be yoked to the wrong thing.
Yeah. And just think about like oxen, like if one oxen is sick and tired and dying and not going the same direction and one oxen is not, like you're not going to get there very fast.
Right.
But when you're both working together, then you can go further.
When I think about like a tandem bicycle, it's
Yeah.
like we've ridden them before. Like
Yeah.
you can have one person doing all the work and the other person's just sitting.
Yeah.
But if you're both pushing, like
Mhm.
you can go super fast.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so, it really is, it's similar.
And it's about intentionality, being yoked to something in your life, your marriage, or whatever it is that actually does help you, like a tool that makes the load lighter
Yep.
to carry, because this world is heavy.
Well, and in this past year of doing Yoked podcast, we didn't do it every single episode, but a lot of the episodes, especially with guests, we asked them at the end, like, what are you currently yoked to? And it's a
Yeah.
unique question
They're
because
like, what? Most of them.
you just be like, what? They didn't read the show notes prior to. But it is interesting to think about like, oh, well, in my business right now or in my marriage or in whatever it is, fill in the blank, what am I yoked to? What am I aligned
my
to?
tool?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
is my tool I'm using to help me get there or do something stronger or faster or better
Intentionally, yeah.
intentionally. Yeah.
And then obviously the reference also in the Bible, where Jesus talks about his yoke being easy and his burden being light, comes from Matthew, I think 11
Hmm.
28. And Jesus doesn't remove the work,
Right.
he changes how we carry it.
Which is a big, key differential.
Big
It
difference.
doesn't just like say, yeah, I'll just make it easy and boom, like I'll take it away. It's not
Hmm.
like with him being yoked to him, it doesn't make it easier to carry. He makes the burden light.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
think for us, like we talked about this in a couple episodes early on when we were first starting, but for us, like this idea of yoked has been kind of a big thing for us and for
Hmm.
many years. Whenever we were in
Yeah.
counseling, several years ago, marriage counseling, getting a tune up. Um, Tristan was her name.
Tristan.
We loved her.
Yeah.
But it was when we were, we were in business, we're doing all these things together like we do now. But she was kind of like, hey, like pause, like we need to address all these things. Like because of all of these areas, you need to make sure that are you yoked like for each other? Like because you have to be
Hmm.
yoked in every aspect, not just one, but because your life bleeds over in so many areas. Like you need to make sure and really pause and evaluate, are you yoked
Yeah.
in all areas, not
Yep.
just one, not
Yeah.
just in business, because you got to be yoked in marriage.
Yeah. And really that's where the idea stemmed from, and it became a metaphor
Hmm. And we use it a
for,
lot.
yeah, us.
And so it's an if, and now it's become our thing.
Yeah. And so every year, and we've mentioned this before, Travis and I, we do a goal setting time. It's been stretched out, it's been condensed, it changed a lot this year. But we usually start that in October, November,
Mm.
of a reflection time and asking some questions about how this last year went and what you want next year to look like. And then, meeting together several times to actually talk and discuss all those things and
Yeah.
then figure out what the goals should be for the next year. And so I thought it would be helpful to just use the yoke framework for goal setting
Yeah.
for the audience, which is for every area, we ask, what's the work in this area?
Yep.
And then what currently makes this area feel heavy? What are things that are like hard? And then what is the yoke? What is the tool, the rhythm, the person, the boundary, that whatever you need to make it lighter, and then what are you going to be yoked to in 2026? And so it's less about building the actual goal as much as it is how are you going to get there? Because the goals are fine. Like you want to make $1 million next year, great. You need a path.
Yeah.
Like what are the heavy burdens standing in the way of $1 million, and then what are the yokes that you need to make it doable?
Right. Yeah. Because I mean, if you're not aligned with the correct things, like what's going to change?
Hmm.
Like, did you make $1 million this year? Then if nothing changes, are you just going to accidentally fall into $1 million next year? Maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, God's a big God. He can make it happen,
sure.
but it's doubtful.
Yeah.
Under your own free will, it's probably doubtful.
Hmm. So
So
let
there
the
are
yoke,
actions that have to
yeah,
happen. Yeah.
and really using the yoke as a framework
Right.
is kind of where we,
And so this episode, it is about like yoked, a re-up of what it is if you're new, and then it's diving into these areas.
yeah, we kind of have goals and six pillars.
And good examples, because we find that a lot of people are like, well, I need examples
Yeah. Okay.
of
Let's give you some, baby.
what is a good example of a yoke for something. So
Yeah.
the first one is personal growth.
Yep.
Right.
And so this is like a who are you becoming?
Mhm.
It's skills, mindset, leadership, learning, all of those things. And like for you, you're going to learn to play the guitar this year.
I am.
I mean, and it's something you've been wanting to do, right? Forever.
But apparently looking at the guitar case doesn't translate to
Or
me
like
learning.
transporting it from the closet to under the bed. You don't actually learn to play the guitar when you do that.
One year I did try, I moved it to our bedroom and I was like, maybe if I like have the guitar out
Yeah.
as like a piece of art.
And I was like, I'm going to like stage it because it's kind of just there.
And like, shout out to my good buddy Jason Hedger. He gave me the guitar. And I mean, he knew I wanted to play, and that was
Mhm.
10 years ago
Yeah.
that he gave it to me. And I'm like, gosh. And so Malin, our oldest daughter,
Our only daughter.
yeah, but our oldest kid,
Yeah.
only daughter, oldest child, She said this year, and we were talking with her, she's like, "I want to learn to play the guitar." And I'm like,
Yes.
"Okay."
And
And me too.
I think the guitar is such like a transferable skill.
Mhm.
So,
And I love
anyways.
that she wants to. I'm like, "Okay, if you want to, I'll
Mhm.
do it with you. I'm gonna learn too."
Yeah. So, let's give the like questions for that personal growth. Like, what disciplines are going to help you grow without burning out? And then what inputs shape you this year? Who, at the end of 2026, you want to be a person who, fill in the blank, plays the guitar,
Plays
right?
guitar.
So then what do you need to do? Books, obviously a teacher,
Yep.
routines. What do you need to say no to? Maybe a different growth area that you've grown in that like doesn't serve you this year. How are you going to do that?
Right. And so, I mean, it's funny thinking about this real time. Like, I hadn't actually thought about what I need to be yoked to for the guitar. Um, but I mean, I do. I need to be yoked to a coach
Yeah.
or an instructor or a program. Or, I mean, there's so many YouTube things like figuring out what that is that I need to find my education
Yeah.
and be yoked to it, be yoked to putting on the calendar and doing it 3 hours a week or
Yeah.
whatever it is to actually start doing it.
Yeah. So that is just one example
I
from
love it.
personal growth specifically. Okay, next, let's go to health and wellness,
Yes. It's very
which,
easy to talk about in January.
yes, and there's only two pillars that have subcategories, health and wellness and relationships. So
Yep.
this one is broken into A, which is mental and emotional health, and then B, which is physical health. But they're all, we know, they all work synonymously with each other.
Right. Until let's talk about physical. Like January, so many people, it's like, I
Yes.
want to have a resolution of working out and losing 50 pounds or whatever. We don't really
Mhm.
do resolutions.
No.
We just set our goals, and it's like January, naturally, we are just excited to do them.
Yeah.
But, like those goals, whatever if it's, like for you, like you wanted to do your big hike, you know,
Yeah.
or for me, I want to run a half marathon again this year.
Hmm.
It's like you have your goal, but I need to be yoked to something. I need to be
Yes.
yoked to staying, like losing weight, need to be yoked
Yeah.
to, you know,
Drinking water.
drinking water, drinking two big things of water a day, or
Yeah.
drinking something like that, going to bed relatively early,
Yeah.
and
Sleep
not watching a show till midnight.
consistency.
Like
Yeah.
simple things, a schedule
Hmm.
and planning.
Yes.
And like the last month, we've made it a habit to work out, do something
Every single
every
day.
single day. And some days it's like a 15-minute simple kettlebell workout.
Right.
It's you just go crush it for 15 minutes.
Hmm.
And sometimes it's a much like this morning, we went on a 2.5 mile hike.
Yeah.
But it's the discipline of doing it every day.
Yeah. And for me, that, I mean, that is one of my big ones for health this next year is consistency. I mean, we've done dry months, we've done dry quarters, but and those are, can be challenging. They weren't super challenging for us. And so mine at the beginning of December was I need something for 6 months. Like that's hard for me. Consistency over 6 months is
Right.
challenging. And so I started in December and I'm like every single day without any kind of you have no excuse. If you're injured, you stretch something every single day.
Right. I guess if you're got the flu and you don't get out of bed, that's different. But you're
No, you like work out your lungs and your neck.
you're like if you get the flu, like you're losing weight already.
Yeah.
So you probably did work out.
And then the mental and emotional subcategory would be like
Yeah.
examples for yokes would be, do I need to journal more? Do I need to go to therapy? Do I need to have honest conversations? Do I need to practice Sabbath?
Right.
I mean, reducing your mental load. Um, are there things, again, I need to say no to? People I need
Well,
to
like
say
this
no
book, like, man, it's so good. Again, if you haven't, we're not on book club week,
to.
but it's so good.
Yes.
We were just talking this morning, like, man, it's such a good book, such great reminders. And so, like talking about Sabbath, like, that for most people, that is such a foreign idea
Hmm.
of just intentional rest.
Yeah.
Like around mental health, like maybe you need to get off your phone for an hour a day,
Yeah.
or like hop off Instagram.
Yeah.
Like you realize like, wow, I doom scroll for an hour and a half every single day. I don't even think about it. And it's harmless. It's while I'm sitting in bed, but you're like, that's what you're consuming right before bed. Like,
Or if like three people that are closest to you in your life have been telling you for years you should think about going to counseling or therapy, maybe this is the year you do it. Like you listen to them.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. You lower your pride and just say, you know what? I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
You're a professional, and there's so many resources out there for that.
Online too.
Online, yeah. I love it.
So that's health and wellness. Spirituality is the next one.
Mhm.
So for us, obviously we're Christians. So this is going to be our primary yoke that shapes all other
Yeah.
areas of our life. It can
This
be
is like number one, yeah.
yeah, and it can be very easy. It can be like, I am yoked to Jesus. Okay, great. How?
Yeah, how?
I would
How
encourage you to go
practically?
that next step, which is prayer rhythms, scripture, fasting, a spiritual practice. Do you need to get in a Bible study? Do you need to get some accountability and community around you? Like, what are some of those things you need to be yoked to? If by the end of 2026, you want to be somebody who has grown in your technical theology, your spiritual practices, you are somebody who prays every day. We don't get there overnight.
All right.
So, what do you need to be yoked to?
Yeah, you want to into this year, like I want to have a closer relationship with Jesus. It's like,
Yeah.
well, what does that look like? What does that mean?
Yeah. You
You
can't
know, so it's
just,
like, people are like, I'm close to Jesus, sure, or I'm a Christian, and that's amazing. But it's like, are you practicing? Like
hmm
it still takes practice, and it takes effort and intentionality, and it's mostly about that. It's like he talks about silence and solitude, and it's like,
hmm
are you practicing silence and stillness
yeah.
and being away and like praying?
And if you are somebody who's more interested in spiritual practices, John Mark Comer does have a new book called Practicing the Way.
Right.
It's not super new, but I would encourage you to pick it up. There you
Hmm.
go. There's your yoke. You're going to pick it up, and then
There you
each
go.
month you're going to practice a new
The
way.
yokes of Mr. John Mark Homer.
Man, I would just love that.
All right, number four is relationships. Like you said, this one
Yeah,
has multiple
it
subcategories,
does. And
and for
so,
good reason. It makes sense.
yeah, for good reason. So, your marriage or your partner, like whoever that main person is, maybe
Hmm.
you don't have one yet, but you really want one. That can absolutely be a category. Your children, so parenting with intention, for sure needs to be. You can't set goals and not have a. If you're a parent, not have a goal for this area.
Hmm.
Period.
And again, this is our framework for setting goals.
Yeah, but I'm convicted in that.
I know, I agree, but I mean, like that's why we have all these categories. It's like,
Yes.
does everybody have to have a yoke for all these things? No, but this is what we do.
Yeah, for sure. And then the other subcategory would just be the extended that outer periphery. I mean, your community, your extended family, friendships, all of those.
Yep.
And so kind of that outer circle that still deeply matters.
Hmm. And like yokes being practically like marriage. Are you going on dates? Do
Yeah.
you have date night? Like we set goals of
Yeah.
X amount of date nights and quality time and coffee in the morning. Like we both
Mhm.
get up and have our morning routine, which falls into our health and wellness and like mental health and our spirituality, and it hits
Yeah.
our quality time together.
And like, let's be real, there's no perfection in marriage. And so I encourage you, like, strive for alignment, and you might be in a different season where you just need to you're fighting right now. You need to be in your marriage every single day. And your commitment, your yoke for your marriage this year might look like 60 or 70% of your effort. And the other 30% is reserved for your health and wellness and for your spirituality and all these other things. Like if you're deep in it, fight. Like
Mhm.
pick up a yoke and frickin' fight.
But you can be yoked to fighting well,
Yes.
or like if
Yeah.
you're like fight in a constructive way,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like you're not gonna not argue, but you can practice arguing in a better way. If every argument ends in blow up and you don't
hmm
talk for 3 days, well, maybe you change how you
Yeah.
do it
And
and be yoked to that.
same thing with therapy. Like if you've been in a struggling marriage
Yeah.
and you have been for years and nothing's changing and you're sitting here this year going, here we go, another year, do something different. Go to therapy. Go do
Right.
whatever you need to do.
I love it.
Kids. So I would say the same thing. Parenting, yeah, with intention.
Hmm.
Family rhythms, presence. We say that kids spell love time. It's time. It's the
I
only
listened to a podcast the other day
commodity.
and it talked about um like just general everyone spells love Time.
Yeah. And
Like
it's the
it's
only
mostly kids, but it
commodity
really is adults.
where the playing field's even.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like we think about like relationship where it's like, like if I'm with you and you're not paying attention at all, like
hmm
are we having time together? Like physically, sure, but do I feel like you love me if you're not actually like looking at me when I'm talking to you?
Right.
Like no.
Mhm.
You don't.
Well, and it's a journey. I mean, as all parenting, all relationships are, but I am in a family where other members love screens maybe more than I do in terms of like believing it is quality time spent together. And if I don't join them in the things that they find joy and value in
Mhm.
right now, like they won't come to me when they're older. And
Right.
so I do need to join in those things that are maybe a little bit more uncomfortable for me.
Our family recently started watching Survivor as a family. It's like the only show that we are like, let's watch Survivor. And it's like
Yeah,
5 seasons ago. The kids have no idea. The kids are just like, this
they
is
think it's real
amazing.
time.
This is like, oh my God, who's going out? What's happening? It has been such a fun, like,
Yeah.
cultural exploration for them.
Yeah, we talked about racism the other day because of
Yeah, it
it.
was really interesting. It's
They were
like,
like, "What is happening
okay,
here?" And
this
we're
is,
like, "Okay."
we can relate everything to Survivor. And so it's just like been a
Mhm.
funny, like, but really fun. Like, it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's been good.
And then your extended family, friends, community, I mean, this is probably a little bit easier, but, do you need to shed some people that no longer serve you? Do you if you are the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with, who are they? And are they speaking into your life? Do you need to go deeper with some?
Mhm.
Do you need to go lighter with others?
Well, and a good example is of like friends, for example. If you are, have you, if you've done all this and done all your goal setting and you have a friend that you're like, I don't want to share these with you because you're going to, piss on my excitement. Like,
Hello?
hello, like that should not be a trusted
They're
friend.
not gonna carry the yoke with you.
They're not going to carry, they're going to bring you down.
Yeah, they're, like, trying to go this way, and you're
And so
trying to go
like, you
this
don't
way.
need to not just be friends with them, but like, I mean, truly, I heard another person talking about this, Alex Hormozy, and I fully agree. It's like, if they're bringing you down, like, you can be acquaintances, sure, but they don't need to be pouring into you.
Mhm.
Don't ask them for advice.
Yeah,
Like, and it's hard. This is one of the hard ones.
yeah,
It's hard to say no and to shed, but it's super important.
yeah. Because let's
Or
be
like pour
real.
into. It's like if you have someone that you know that they will fully pour into you, maybe you should water that friendship. Go
Yeah,
get coffee. Go have conversations.
and some of those people, like, they're close family.
Mhm.
It can be really challenging to, sever a relationship, or even if you don't need to sever, just go lighter
Like
with
change.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, change that because they should be the people that champion you the most, and yet they're not.
Yeah. And like with those people, like let's camp on this for a minute because with those people, you love them. It's not saying don't love them. It's
Mhm.
just saying don't let them water you
Yeah,
because they might be watering with some poison.
yeah.
And so like if it's family, like what I do is I make that relationship more surface.
Mhm.
Oh, that's beautiful weather. It's snowing. And that's okay. Like it
Yeah.
is what it is. Like I'm still in a relationship and I still care, but I don't want input into my life. I don't want inputting like cancerous thoughts or opinions into my life.
Yeah. And in a moment of honesty, like I am somebody who only knows depth in my relationships.
Hmm.
I think I should be very deep with each and
You
every
do.
person I encounter. And yeah, I'm in this new place, obviously physically, but also where I'm trying to find new friends. And it's like if I just go do that, that's going to scare people off. I'm going to be like way too much for them. And
Hi,
so,
I'm Ingrid. What's your deepest,
yeah.
darkest?
Like, that's earned, and it's
It
earned over
is.
time, and that's really challenging for me because that's how I feel connected to people. Like, I'm just in a new season where that's not the way to do it,
Right?
and so I
It's
am learning
slow
something
burn.
new. Yeah, at 38, like a completely new way of making friends.
And we've talked about
So
that.
we'll
Like,
see.
I'm glad you said that because it is real. Like, for you, authenticity is like a core belief of
Mhm.
who you are and who you want to be and who you want people to see you as. And that doesn't mean you're not being authentic. It means you're slower to the deep authentic,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, you've been yoked to that,
I know.
you know, truly. All right, let's talk about the next one, job and career. Obviously,
Yes.
this one is important to us whenever it comes to partnerships or business or all the things. We talk about that a lot on this podcast
Mhm.
because of people who we interview, are curious about their business and what they're doing and all the things. So this one's, we camp on it a lot.
Yeah.
So it's more. it's easier to think about in the practical sense.
Yeah, and I was thinking about this one specifically and wanted to share two things. The first of which like is, and I wrote this down, like your yoke can change
Hmm.
depending on your season. And so for the first time ever, we've never set goals like this before.
Yeah, we haven't.
We set goals based on how much time they warranted of ours throughout the week. And we worked backwards. And it was totally different because for years and years and years, we've been in Denver where we can have a very predictable business and we know exactly what everything's going to look like. And everything's been mixed into a new bag with like a very even playing field. And we're trying to build new businesses. And so this year we said, okay, if we want, like, how many hours are the kids at school? Okay, blah, and then how many hours do we have to work? How many hours are realistic? Okay, now if you want to grow this new business idea, to $10,000 a month net, then how many hours do you need to spend on it every single week?
Right.
And then you work backwards and you shed a lot of things that way. And it also helped us realize when during the year we're probably going to need to hire an administrative assistant. I mean, all of these things. And so we've never done it that way, ever, ever. And yet, like, we're in this totally new season, total big change. Your yoke changes. We are super yoked to time management
Hmm.
and time blocking this year.
Yeah, no, it's so true, and I'm excited about it. Like it was
Mhm.
very practical for me from a goal setting standpoint of like, okay, if we want this, fast forwarding to the end of 2026, let's break it into chunks and like
Yeah.
figure out, okay, now we're gonna allocate this much and this much and this month, and it's like, well, that's realistic, and that is where we're at, and so
Mhm.
it's like, if I want this one to grow by this, but
Am I
I'm only
giving it the time?
allocating
Yeah.
10% of my time, like doesn't make sense. And
Mhm.
for us, it's different. We have a lot of different, lenses and lanes that we're focusing on.
Mhm.
So not everybody has that,
Yeah.
but it is cool. Like, yeah, we did it.
And like for those of you listeners who don't work together, obviously that's probably the majority of people,
Mhm.
you should absolutely know what your partner's goals are in their job and their career in this next year. Because if they're trying to level up this next year and get to the next pay grade or, add 5 people that are they directly manage, guess what? They're going to have to work a lot.
Right.
And like, are you aligned in that? Are you somebody this next year who's going to support them in that with the kids, with extra time at night, with like whatever that looks like, early mornings? Like, are you going to be that foundational support at home for them to go do that? You have to be sharing these with each other. You absolutely have to.
Right. I mean, like a good example is real estate school. Years back
Mm-hmm.
when we both did it, it was like, hey, we are both in alignment that, hey, we are going to do this at night. And so after dinner on these days, like you got the kids because I'm headphones on, I'm
Mm-hmm.
working
Yeah.
to get through the school. Like
Yep.
very practical, but it's so true.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea of being yoked in all different
Yeah.
areas. Is because you have to understand what the other person's going through and what they want.
Mm-hmm. And so, whether you're in business with your partner or spouse or you're not, like I would say, are you yoked to the right people? Do you need a nanny? Are you yoked to systems? I mean, you can be yoked to Instacart because now, like, you're trying to go here in your career and you need help with groceries,
Right.
laundry services. Like, and I'm thinking of home services, but other systems in your business as well. And then work that just fits your season of life. Like,
Hmm.
is it actually realistic that if I'm going to coach my kids' baseball team, that I'm actually going to work 60 hours that week?
Right.
Probably not. Because in the spring, you're not gonna be able to do that, and you're gonna make a lot of people around you mad if you do.
Right. No,
So
that's so good. Like with the nanny and like the laundry, like we've been in those seasons where it's like
mhm.
you're you're simply buying your time back.
Yeah.
You're paying somebody else to do something that you can do, but by you doing that, you're freeing up time to do something else.
Mhm.
And that doesn't mean something else is just like hanging out, like watching Netflix.
No.
It's like productive time. And I will say, like, side note, we just bought ourselves a Roomba thing. It's
Ugh,
called a narwhal, and it's amazing.
it is.
It's funny because we moved here. we used to have a bi-weekly like house cleaning company.
Oh, she
She
was
was amazing.
great.
Elizabeth, we'd
Uh,
had her for years and years and years, and we used her for a lot of business stuff. But it's funny, like we talked about doing it again here, but what we realized is like
our kids didn't know how to
our kids were
clean,
lazy.
and they were grubby.
Like they had
Their
learned how
bathroom was
to,
gross.
they had to pick up for her and like to keep the house tidy, but they
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to clean.
No.
And so we're making them clean, and it's been so good. It's so frustrating at times, but we got we
Even more reason we needed it.
and it's different climate up here, and so like it's different. It's wet, and so Boone gets stuff wet, our dog,
Yeah.
and we bought this narwhal thing. It's like a vacuum mopper, and like I joked to Ingrid, like, we're buying this as a tool. We're
No.
buying ourselves a house cleaner, and it is amazing. We used to have a Roomba like a decade ago, and this is not the same Roomba.
It's
So
made it much more manageable.
it's this. Like we bought ourselves
Yes.
hours a week from.
And we're like, we're not going to do a full blown cleaner. We're not there, and the kids have a long way to go before they know how to clean a house. But like, it was a half step. It was a good example.
We named it Buddy. So Buddy really helps out a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's keep going.
All right. Our next one is financial and wealth legacy. So again, doing these together as a partnership group. We obviously highly recommend. Um, the focus would be stewardship, not necessarily accumulation, but also, if we are somebody who wants to own properties down the road 5-10 years from now, or if we are people who want to add a certain amount to a 401k or start a 529 plan for our kids, whatever that looks like, that kind of wealth legacy, what are you doing this year to make sure that you're able to do that? Because young people, you're not going to think, oh, well, yeah, buying a house next year seems really attainable. No, but maybe like 4 years from now it does. And so you have to start now.
Right.
You can't just wait until you're ready.
And it's super easy to think about like yoked, like what you're yoked to, like a budget.
Yeah. Giving.
$50 a month. I want to give
Investing.
X, tithing, like whatever it is, like it's a little bit, you just got to be yoked to it and make sure it happens.
Well, and clear goals. Like if you want to go travel to Costa Rica this year, and this and that and that. Well, how much money do you need to do that? Oh, okay. So that's 40% of your salary. You can't do all that.
Right.
Like don't set a goal to travel 5 times internationally knowing that your budget doesn't support that. Like, don't do that.
Right. Unless in your plan is to increase your income.
Yeah. By 40%.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, if that is, like, do it.
Yeah.
But you need to have a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
all right. Bring it all together.
Yeah. Those are kind of our 6 pillars. And they cover everything. Let me tell you, like, this is years and years of developing these and redoing them and going back and forth. But I think for us, like, the purpose is just like every area has work. What is the work? What can you use to make it lighter? And then the right yoke changes everything.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to yoked in some way, shape, or form. Like it really does.
I know.
Like we're not meant to do this thing solo.
And it's not about doing more. It's not about pushing through. It's not about, and if you are somebody where you're like, I'm in a push phase, like this is it, I'm going to run and I'm going to run fast, great. Let everyone around you know. But it's not necessarily about that. It's not about doing more. It's about having the right yoke to.
And I mean, you can run faster if you get somebody with you.
Yeah.
You just can.
Yeah.
And so it's like maybe, like not somebody's gonna win the race, right? In a running analogy, but you run faster if you know somebody's right there. You just do.
So one of the ways that we like to do this and kind of bring it together specifically for our family is with a word of the year.
Yes.
And
we did a whole episode on
last year, yeah, we did a whole podcast episode on word of the year. So go back and listen to it because it really is gives very tangible steps for how to choose a word of the year. And if you have kids, if you're including them, how to make
I'll link it in the video.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And so you can do that. So do you want to talk about our word of the year?
Yes. So our kids don't know what the word of the year is yet, but tonight they will.
Tonight we're doing our bracelets.
But we've kind of back and forth a lot. And we do make it one word, one family word that Ingrid and I also like think about it as business as well. We kind of blend the two together. but we want it to be simple and easy. And this past year, 2025, was commit. It was
Yep.
a commitment, but it was a commit. And it was a great word for us. We were committed, then we moved. We were committed to move. We were committed to hard things. And it was a really hard year. And so it's interesting being 6 months removed from that. We're here. We are in a season of, all right, we're doing a lot of things. And so it's like we're kind of committing to our relationships and we're starting new friendships, starting new businesses. And so this year, kind of going along with that, our word is going to be rise. And
Right.
so, because for us, I mean, that word, it works so well with our personal growth, our family. We are risers. We can do it. We can do hard things. It invokes like courage and commitment and like
Yes.
strong. And it goes so well with business too. It's like when we're starting new businesses, like this
Yeah.
year, like we are starting a new one. It's going to be called Local Love CDA, one of
Mm.
them.
Yeah.
And we're starting that. It takes a lot of courage,
Yeah.
and we're venturing into a world that we haven't. And so imposter syndrome is real, but we're going to rise through it.
Yeah.
And so, Rise 2026 sounds like a conference, but it's not.
I know
It's
it
going to be a
does.
bracelet. Next podcast, we're going
Yeah.
to have them.
So I brought this is actually Andrew's bracelet I grabbed from his room from last year, and it says commit. And so every year then we do a bracelet as a reminder. We've kind of evolved into that, and I used to order them, and then when the kids got older, now we make them.
Mhm.
And we talk about ways that we're gonna incorporate that word, but also with all goals, everything you're yoked to. None of it matters unless you're looking at it every day. You got to look at it daily, weekly, absolutely monthly and quarterly to know if you're getting there. I mean, and we're guilty of this. We have not always done a good job about that. We've forgotten about goals we set. And so I highly, highly recommend some kind of reminder for your word of the year or your goals. And so we're going to be making our bracelets tonight because you travel this week for Owners Club. And so just anything you can do to remind yourself of the goals you're setting, what you're yoked to, and your word of the year.
I love that.
Stay aligned.
Stay aligned.
I love it. Well, as
I love it.
always, make sure to follow along. We'll be weekly episodes again this year. We've
Mhm.
got book club coming up, and you can always find me at the Ingrid Hall on Instagram.
And I'm at the Travis Hall on all the socials. And thanks for listening. We are excited for 2026 for us and for you. And we look forward to it. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Yoke Podcast. We hope you enjoyed it.
And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow along as we drop a new episode each week.